What's up everybody, Mechrex here, and I'm back in Vega Conflict already. So, the general idea that I had was to carry out the assault carrier and actually think of details in between the videos. Because the idea popped into my head last night and I wanted to get it out today early. So I thought of a few of the stats. It should be somewhere in between a tier 3 and a tier 4 carrier. But it should have weapons that match its weight, so it can be fully equipped with weaponry and shielding and armor, and be Mark upgrade. And since it'll only be a tier 3.5 ship, it should only be able to go to Mark 4. So for the assault carrier, we can see any number of things, and the main weapons and stuff like that, the stats, everything like that. We'll let them work it out, because it'd actually be a pretty good idea. But I also would like to see what they can do, because I was actually looking at the model of the Paladin earlier, and they actually did a very good job of detailing it when you zoom in. Normally we don't zoom in because we're managing combat, and that's the only time we ever see the ships is in combat. And I was thinking, instead of making the assault carrier a flagship, make it a standard ship so you can have multiple in a fleet. So it'd be like another version of the Legion, but without being garbage. And yes, I'm going to insult the Legion and say it's garbage. Because I haven't even unlocked it, nor am I actually thinking of unlocking it. Now, the beneficial thing, the weight of the assault carrier, you actually could do it so it's a little bit heavier than actual carriers. Make it bigger than an actual carrier. But have it so it has less squadrons because it has a main weapon and 2 secondaries. Secondaries will be standard weapons, i.e. manifold, missiles, or any number of other weapons you want to put on it. Make it so it has no special slots at base. You have to Mark upgrade to get 1 special slot at Mark 4. That would be more useful. And then the standard thing, it can have the same benefits carriers do as they get Mark upgrade. The standard carriers, so increased damage versus armor and shields and reduced squadron mass. That would be more wise to upgrade it, and that way at Mark 4 you could actually strap fusion thrusters to it to make it better. Energy weapon, projectile weapon, and a projectile. Well, energy, explosive, and projectile should be its 3 main weapons. You should be able to research each one independently through here under your ship weapons at the bottom. Have it so like it comes in under that one as special. You know, you have to research everything else in here before you can get to it. So you know you're truly the top research. And what about special? Should we give it a special? No. It should only have a research here, Mark upgrades in here. Come on, change over. Change, there we go. Research is in here, and stuff like that. Now, what else am I thinking? Well, what else am I thinking? Easy. I'm thinking that it could be your little tier carrier, but it won't have a support field, so it won't be a true carrier, so it can't replace them. It's just another option of a ship that you can put in to use that isn't broken and overpowered. It's just another stepping stone that you can put in. So it won't replace your Midgard. For you guys who have the Midgard and don't have any other carriers yet, well, good job getting the Midgard because it's not going to be replaced. It could be a support ship for it with long-range power. And the weapons could have 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 meters base range for the main weapons. Energy being the shortest, projectile being the longest at 6,000. And it would be fun to see Hicks actually take this idea and run with it. So let's see if we can get some support behind it and see if we can get it out there and get them to look at it or at least think about it. Because it would give low levels something else to do, and it could be fun in PvP to see these little ships. And I was thinking for their repair time ratio, for the base ship, it'll have to use the normal armor you get, though, for the 1 to 1 second. But let's give it a slightly reduced repair time on the actual ship itself. So whatever the health is decided and stuff like that, let's go ahead and let's run with the idea. And let's just say, for every 1 hit point it only takes 0.9 seconds of repair time. So it takes less than 1 second of repair time per shot, except for it's not as efficient as, say, Xeno Division, or Axis. So take the idea and run with it a bit and see where it goes. Everyone feel free to pitch in some ideas and stats down below. Build time, we don't want it to be stupidly high because it's only going to be a tier 3.5. So we want build time for it to be in between a tier 3.5 to tier 4. So we need something between tier 3 and tier 4. And it could be a fun little specialist ship, and that's what the class could fall under. Instead of being a carrier, it could be a specialist ship, but give it the carrier name because that's what it should be, because it's going to have squadrons on board. But do not make it like the Midgard. Do not reduce its range. It is a support ship with low weaponry except for the main cannon. And yes, I'm going to call it a cannon for the time being. And the squadron should have the 100% range, so if we only get to use these guys, they should have the full 7,500 meters and not reduce down to what the Midgard's is. Make it so that they could be a perfect escort for the Midgard, and they could be very efficient at basing in low-level targets. Would it be fun for PvP? Well, I'll let you guys think of that, because I don't actually play in PvP. I play in mainly versus AI, and I would actually like to build ships like these and take small ones and run with the ideas and see what you could do with them. And at Mark IV, they should get a special slot unlocked, so they start with no special slot. But that would allow a little bit more versatility. So after you get it, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to upgrade the weapon range of energy weapons? Do you want to increase AoE of explosive weapons? Do you want to do something else? Do you want to give it fusion thrusters to make it just a little bit more versatile in all fields? Well, that depends. We'll work out the stats over time on what it should be. So that way it's not some overpowered thing that's going to jump the bounds of Tier 4 and make them all obsolete. So you jump right from a Midgard with this thing as its escorts up to Tier 6. You still should be able to go through the other stuff, but not taking as long. You should be able to jump from Tier 3 to Tier 5 and then to Tier 7. So let's just see what everyone thinks, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you guys pitch in some ideas in the comments below if you have anything you'd like to say about. Maybe change some of the stats. How much health should it have at base? How much armor, how much anything should it have? 2 armor slots. What I was thinking was 1 main weapon, the cannon, 2 weapon slots for standard weapons, i.e. or anything for that matter, from pulse rays to thermal beams, anything you want. Just 2 of them. 2 armor slots, 1 shield slot. No special slots to begin with until you get to Mark IV. And what I was thinking for it had just put its normal mark patterns in with the normal mark boxes. So, you know, if you go out into the sector, how do you get Tier 3 boxes? You hit these guys. You hit these. Put it in with these, because it'll be Tier 3 tech, not Tier 4. And what of anything else? I actually would just like to see if they would take the idea and run with it at Kixeye and possibly see just what they can come up with, because I've looked at the ships and they've actually come up with some very beautifully designed ships that are very well detailed, especially as of lately with Axis Division. When you zoom in, you can see the beautiful little details on them. So let's see them build something new that's researchable completely, including researchable weapons for it, for the low levels, but won't benefit any of them in the long run. It'll just be a short little play with thing, but it'll give you another ship to play with in PvP that could change it up a bit so it could be a little bit more fun, because people want incentive to play PvP. I still don't do PvP, but it would be fun to see these little ships, and I may actually record a few of other people using them in PvP with backed up by a small carrier or something, just because it would be fun to see it. But I'm running my voice into the ground right now. I need to stop, so I'll leave this video here. If you like the idea, feel free to get some steam behind it, share it. Let's see what we can do with this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave it here. If you like the video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps. And as always, I will see you all in the next video.